AI portal number 8, accelerating the law with retrieval augmented generation. Today we're going to look at how AI portal can address some of the challenges in the legal arena. Retrieval augmented generation is one of the first fruits of machine learning and is already changing the way the legal profession works. Let's take a look at RAG and AI portal, considering some areas of law. 5 areas of law that will benefit from retrieval augmented generation include legal research, contract analysis, regulatory compliance, litigation support, and legal drafting. In legal research, some of the challenges include sifting through massive databases of case law, and this is time-consuming and subject to prone to human error. RAG systems can quickly retrieve relevant documents, summarizing key findings, and identify potential legal arguments. So, using the semantic search capabilities, retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, matches your query with relevant information in a collection. So we're choosing this collection called legal. Your query and the relevant information. RAG matches your query with the relevant information in a collection, and it takes out these segments of the documents that are related to your query. The query and the relevant information is then sent to a large language model, which synthesizes a response based on your question and the results of the vector search. So in the legal research area, in that collection, we're going to prompt the system with this. In 300 words, tell us about Pearson versus Post. Give citation of source document name and page numbers if possible at the end of your response. The first thing we need to do is to load the collection. This is successful. And now we can send the prompt to the system. And I'm going to pause this because this is a small machine with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I can't record the screen and do the processing. Okay, and here's our response. Pearson and Post was a landmark case in American legal history that took place in 1805 in the Supreme Court of Judicature of New York. The case revolved around an action of trespass on the case brought by Lodewick Post against Jesse Pearson. And it gives us some further information about the case. The case is significant for several reasons, and it gives us further information, and ultimately it gives us the sources. And it says the sources provided are online resources and do not have page numbers, going back to our prompt. Okay, let's go back to our page here. Let's look at contract analysis. And you notice here that we don't get to choose a collection because we decided that this page is going to be dedicated. A lot of configuration available to the clients for how they want their retrieval augmented generation system to work. So here we're locked into the contracts collection here, and what we want to know is who pays for water in the lease, and on what page of the lease does it tell us this? And I'll pause real quick to let it do the work. Okay, according to lease agreement, the landlord pays for water and sewer services. This is stated on page 2 of the source document, 2024 Unit B lease agreement. Now let's go back and look at the lease agreement here. And indeed, the tenant water will be paid for on the tenant's behalf by the landlord. It didn't include this dollar amount of the fee there. And also, it's on page 3 of the document because the computer is starting from 0. So page 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, it's page 2. So there is some tuning that has to be done on these systems. Let's go back and look at our final example today, regulatory compliance. Regulatory compliance. Keeping up with the constantly changing, evolving regulations across various industries is a major challenge for business and the lawyers they employ. We can do some assistance to all of these people using RAG, when we load our collections with the latest regulatory documentation. And so the clients are going to have to tell us what needs to be loaded into the vector store. And the vector store is what we query when we ask our questions. We really don't query it. We're prompting the LLM with information. We're trying to shield the users from complexity so that they actually have a product they can use. What impact does HR 624 have on federal agencies using Social Security account numbers? And our reference document that we loaded in the vector store is the Social Security Fraud Prevention Act of 2017. Let's let the machine go to work. Okay, according to the provided context, H.R. 624 prohibits federal agencies from including Social Security account numbers on any documents sent by mail unless the agency determines that inclusion of the number is necessary and takes precautions outlined in the bill to protect the Social Security number. Let's go back to our source document here, and we'll go down to the bottom of page 6 because we picked the prompt knowing what the answer should be to verify that the system works. And that's part of configuring and perhaps even training your RAG system to answer correctly. It's almost verbatim, should be near to verbatim. A lot of options here. I'm going to add a button down here so that the system reads these answers aloud. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope it was instructive.